Yeah, you go ahead and sip that.
Ming-
Nah, but off of that, how long have you been an artist, yo?
That's a funny question. I've been
Been an artist my whole
releasing
life.
no.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. I
I've
thought
been
you was one of
releasing
them.
music for about I don't even know if I would say a year now.
Mm,
I dropped my first record August of this year, so just a couple months ago.
which was called
Mango Margarita.
Right.
No, I'm lying. I'm lying.
No,
I'm
it's
lying.
not.
It's Yin and
It's
Yang.
Yin and Yang.
Yeah, Yin and Yang was first.
I seen the Yin and Yang joint. I seen
And
it.
then I followed it up with Mango Margarita. But yeah, like I haven't been an artist my whole life. I wanted to be an artist earlier. Like when I was like 12, I was like on this like, child star journey or whatever. I don't know. But I wasn't feeling it then. Like I don't know.
You couldn't find
wanted
Nickelodeon auditions?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was music, and it was doing
Okay.
it was doing pop, and I was in artist development, and it was just a lot of stuff going on at the time. Like shit got really weird, like really real, really quickly, and it was just all too much for me. Like little 12.
You was on a child star mission. You had
Yeah, it was
artist
crazy.
development at
I was
12?
in Mr. Holly's basement. Like this is gonna sound crazy. That already sounded crazy. Mr. Holly basement. Okay, it's better than that. It wasn't that. But basically,
just the
so
host.
Mr. Holly, basically, he was one of the people that I worked with in artist development. And basically, like, he was, all around just helping me with showmanship and performance and all that. And, he was a choreographer, that was his main, his main thing. But when I say he helped with everything, I mean, like, everything. I mean, like, even, like, media training, like, he would be like, if someone asked you this, how would you respond? And I'd be like, is this a part of your job title? Like thinking this in the back of my mind, like this is not what we were supposed to do today. Like I wasn't prepared for this, but it gets you
I
really
didn't
right.
study for this
Like not
question.
like that, but that's how how you be when you're younger.
Yeah,
Like you
it's
just
horrible.
don't. You're you're young, and that was the thing. I think it was just I was young. I was always into music, and I was like writing, and I started learning how to play the guitar around then. So I loved music, but it was the industry and like the job, like when music became less of a hobby and a passion and became more of a job, I wasn't feeling it at that point. And I think it just became a lot of pressure. And I think I didn't have as much creative control as I wanted to have. And I was young, so like obviously there's going to be people, people who are in control of certain things, but I just wasn't feeling it. I just was like,
You know what people are going to hear when they hear you say at 12 you didn't have creative control, right?
what?
They're going to say, now you have creative control. You have yin and yang and mango margarita.
Exactly. That's so funny, but they're
You're so
great.
profound.
See, the funny part is that's the freedom in having creative
Absolutely.
control, because it took
Absolutely.
me a while to be able to make records like Mango Margarita. You know what I mean? Like to be able to make a record about something that's fun and is not some serious, like not an anthem, not something. I mean, it is an anthem, but not. You know what I mean? Like not something that has some deep message, and it's not something that's prolific, and it's not. No, but just to be able to make something that's fun and it's vibey. I like music that's fun and vibey.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I add that to my playlist. Why am I not making that? You get what I mean? So it took me a while to be able to get to that point where I could just make stuff that was fun, or even like throwaway records. Like it took me a while to get to that point because I was just such a perfectionist, and I still am. But I don't know, it's a balance that I'm trying to find.
OCD kills. OCD kills in music,
You're
yo.
talking now, man.
No, it's a real thing.
You're preaching.
But you said just started releasing music, and then you referred to recording the way that you want to now. How long were you recording before?
So what do you mean, like when I was younger?
I mean,
Or just
up
period?
until this point, like
So up until this point, I'm just
until August.
familiar with being in the studio. So with this project, I think it was like I had songs that were written, but they weren't on wax yet. So I wasn't in the studio with them. And then that's when I think I did Yin and Yang like probably 4 weeks or so before it dropped. And then I, sent that out, and I was like, fuck it, we're just gonna do it. Like,
gonna let it go and see what happens.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And then Mango Margarita, and then I did that. But prior to that, I was in the studio like when I was younger, and then since then I hadn't been back in the studio till recently, like till I started dropping this music. So
what was in between?
I was writing and working and, you know what I mean, just living life. Like, I would write for other people and just do other projects that weren't my own. So when I say, like, it took me a while to get to a point to be able to, first of all, A, drop my own music, and second, like, B, to be able to, you know, make music that I thought was fun and maybe not, like, I mean, so stoic and serious all the time. Like, I mean, just to be able to just do stuff that was fun.
But writing for other people puts you in a place where you never really figure out your identity as an artist too at the same time.
I think in some ways it did, but I found my pen and I also figured out, I think it takes an ability. It's interesting that you say that, because I was just having a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago and talking about how it's such a talent and a gift, a niche gift, to be able to write for people, like other people who, you know, and it's not your own stuff.
That shit is amazing.
Yes, it's really difficult to do.
Especially to sound like them and not have them sound like you.
Organic, you know what I mean? And like, to speak to them in their own nuances and from their own experience and their own perspective. So that's something that's difficult. So it gave me the ability, I think, to be more versatile in my writing and not be able to just approach it in one way. So I think you find your voice. Like, I mean, like,
yeah, in a way, I guess you could. But I mean, like I said, I definitely believe that your pen is going to be versatile at that point. I mean, I spoke to someone on here, shout out Frankie Storm. She wrote for Rihanna a few times, and a few other people, J-Lo, other people.
Yeah.
And I asked her one time, like, what's the pressure like? What's the most stressful part of doing, for instance, a Rihanna record?
Yeah.
And what she said blew my mind, because I never thought about it that way. She was like, I sit down and I say, so what's her new sound going to be? I have to create her new sound.
Yeah. Not something that was
not something that, like the last album over.
Yeah.
We had that moment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
exactly.
Your pen gotta be so crazy.
Exactly.
To just be like, all right, I'm gonna just play with something real quick and see if they, like, for her.
Right. And exactly. And you gotta think they get so many songs. Like, you know, it's not like, day. You know, ain't no just somebody across
and
the
street. And
they
ain't there to just be running scrimmages. We need to be laying something permanent down.
They gotta be hit. So that is, shout out to her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, shout out to y'all, because I feel like there's certain kind of people I could write for. Or I could create certain songs that people would adapt to and maybe make their own.
Yeah.
But to just be the person that gets called to be the pen randomly for random up, like, that's different.
Like The Dream, he is so dope. He's
ridiculous.
Such a dope writer.
It don't make no sense.
And to be able to write for like the opposite, you know, sex, and that's, you know, another completely different perspective to write from. I don't know. I think it's so cool.
I think sometimes it's easy for men to write for women and women to write for men.
Yeah.
Because you know both sides of the argument, or you know the energy that comes back when you have the argument or the conversation. Yeah. So in a lot of those instances, you could create a scenario that makes sense, right? But it's like having to write for, I don't even want to say it, love.
Yeah.
And have to be as arrogant as he be and give it up how he be, and then have to write something that he can actually land. Exactly. Because I can't make it too crazy, because he ain't us.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I just, like, I always been stuck on people that could write that's versatile like that. So kudos to you, man. Let's do this for that. See, that's your second one. You won in the day.